Hi there, my name's Louis Paquette. I'm with WMT Hosting, and I'd like to welcome you to a presentation on a new financial incentive program that we're introducing to our affiliates as of today. All right. Basically, what it is, it's going to help us fill our matrix a lot quicker if we all work together. That's the goal. Now, what's the biggest obstacle that we all face in WMT and almost any other network marketing company? I think the answer that we'd all agree on is that would be stagnation, the lack of growth, difficulty attracting leads, converting leads quickly enough. People come on board, but they don't get any spillover, or they don't have any success recruiting, and 2 or 3 months goes by, they quit. How many times have you seen that? Well, this is a solution to overcoming stagnation. Okay. So now, let me ask you another question. How would you like a better shot at filling your matrix in our 3x7 forced matrix? If you were to do that, you would be earning mathematically $79.95 a month. It probably will never be exactly that number. There's always somebody in there that's going to be inactive or whatever. But if everybody were active and you filled the matrix, that's the number you would earn per month. And that, folks, is only if you have one spot. There is nothing stopping a person from getting 2 or 3 or 4 spots. So you could multiply that number if you wanted to, and build it by building out your matrix. But what if I told you that there is a way that we could do this, not in several lifetimes, but in theory, conceivably, in 2 months, or even 4 months, or even 6 months? Wouldn't that be wonderful? And let me ask you, would you be willing to invest a whole whopping $63 if it took you closer to earning that kind of goal? Would that be a good return on your investment? I would suggest it would be. Okay, so that's the kind of money I'm talking about. All right, now just some other general characteristics of this program. This is not done from head office. It's not done out of our general revenues. This is something I'm recommending for every sponsor to do. So it's totally voluntary, and we're not imposing it on our affiliates. They don't need to do this, all right? Because we can't do that because it is financed by each affiliate, all right? Now, typically, okay, ideally, the way I'm suggesting it works is for the people on your first level. There's going to be 3 people on your first level. When you bring them in, okay, you reward them if they were to get 3 people within 7 days. You let them know about this incentive. Look, I will pay you $21, another additional month of your fees, if you were to get 3 people, but to do it within a time frame, a tight one, of 7 days, a week. All right. Most network marketers can do that. That's not an inconceivable task at all, and it's a nice task to shoot for, because if you get your 3 people, you're earning what your monthly fee is. So you're break even now, and the pressure's off, and you can sort of take a breath, and now you can think about, well, how much profit I want to earn, and you're operating from a different standpoint. So it's a nice goal to get, and on top of that, we'll pay you your monthly fee. The sponsor will, if you were to do that quicker than later. Okay. And actually, it's not really going to cost you as a sponsor $63, because if given the $7 you're getting for each of your 3 people, really take 21 away from that, it's costing you a net 42 whole honkin' dollars to motivate these folks to get their 3 people within a week. All right. Now, you wouldn't pay them their reward until their people upgrade. Okay, because if we didn't do that, how we have the 14-day free trial, people could game this. By gaming, I mean they could come to you and say, hey, I've got 3 sign-ups, even before they pay, and they could get the $21 reward from you if you fell for it, and then those people don't upgrade. So let them upgrade first, and then let your affiliate come to you and say, hey, my 3 people are upgraded, where's the $21, and then send it to them in their alert pay. What a nice little reward. So your people are joining, they're getting 14 days free, they're getting an additional free month. What a great deal. But that's not it. The second part of this is you encourage them to do exactly the same for their people. You tell them to tell their 3 people, get your 3 people in 7 days. I'll pay you $21 too. All right. So those of you, probably some of you can see where this is going. All right. Now this is coming in not at the beginning of the company. This is sort of midstream. So what should you do about it if you have 3 people on your first level? You could offer it to some of their people. Offer to do it for 3 people somewhere in your downline. You could grandfather some people who have been on board already, but haven't gotten their 3 people, and just say, hey, look, here's a shot at a monthly fee. And I just want to make a point of mentioning to all our affiliates, do not anticipate this reward unless your sponsor has specifically informed you that they're participating in this. Unless somebody tells you, don't expect it. It's not coming out of the general revenues. It's coming out of the pocket of the person who has sponsored you. Okay. So next slide. Okay. So here's where we're going with this, folks. This is more than just getting 3 people. Let's just say, all right, and I'm not suggesting this is going to happen for sure, and there are no guarantees. But let's say your 3 people get their people within 7 days, and so forth and so on, each level down. In 49 days, the matrix is built. You're making $8,000 in less than 2 months. All right. So here's our little icon here of all our people working together. If everyone were to do exactly the same thing and just get it done sooner than later, we could do this. And the people just under you wouldn't be far from making their $8,000 a month, and so forth and so on. So why don't we just all do this? All right. And let's keep in mind, some people are not going to stop at 3 people. They will be successful at sponsoring more people, which will make up for some that just can't do it. All right. But let's get everybody on board and let's do this. All right. Now here's a variation in the way it should work. What I'm suggesting is, your first position is get your 3 people in 7 days. I pay you $21. But let's say somebody needs a week to set up and a week to get their people. That's 14 days. I'll still pay you $14. And if it takes you even not quite a month, but 3 weeks, you got 3 weeks, one person a week. If you can sponsor, I'll shoot you back $7. Okay. I know these aren't huge amounts of money, but it's a reward. All right. So it's a stair-stepping kind of a deal. All right. So next slide. So what I'm talking about here, folks, is the art of the possible. If everyone would just get their 3, if everyone just did their part, even if it took 21 days, forget the week. What if everyone took 3 weeks to get their 3 people? These matrices could be built in 6 months for the top person, and so forth and so on. Okay, and like I said, it doesn't take into account, some people are not going to stop at 3 people. They're going to create spillover and do more than their 3 people, which will make up for some that just can't. All right, so let's do this. Okay, so some of the features, the highlights, and the conclusions that I've made from designing this is that, 1, some kind of financial incentive, the right incentive, could convince more prospects to join us in the first place. Okay, 2, the right kind of a financial incentive would motivate more of the new people, new affiliates, to get their 3 people sooner than later. All right, the spillover that this creates can reduce turnover, since people would be profitable more quickly. All right, there's no reason to leave. If you have 3 or more people underneath of you, why would you leave? You don't need to, because your costs are covered. Okay, there's no incentive to leave. All right, so now our turnover goes down. So the immense problem that we faced earlier, the stagnation, we could transform that into steady growth. All right, that's the goal here, folks. So specifically how it works, you've successfully sponsored somebody. The day you did it, the minute they sign up, okay, you give them in writing, you give them a letter congratulating them for starting, all right, and offering them this incentive. And I've made a copy of this letter on our blog, and I'll show you in a minute. And so you just copy the URL for this page, for this PDF file, and you give it to them. You say, hey, look it, here's an incentive to get the job done a little quicker than later. Now, then the second part is you tell them, and please do this for yours as well. I mean, you could make that part of the deal. You could say, look, are you willing to do this for your 3? Then I'll do it for you. You can approach it that way. But I don't like coercion, and I don't like arm twisting. I'd rather just say, hey, look, if we all do this, we could really make this work. And I'm going to do it for you, and I hope that you will do it for yours. And hopefully they will see the light. All right? And you can also use this to entice non-members to think about joining us. Say, hey, look, if you do join us, I'm going to pay your first month if you just get the job done fairly quickly. Okay, so that kind of reduces the liability for that person. Now, I want to repeat a couple qualifiers here, especially. Don't expect this unless your sponsor offers it specifically. Okay, there are no guarantees. I'm not saying, hey, join us and we're going to have this built in 2 months. I'm saying if we all work together, if we all do our small part, conceivably we can get this done in a few months. So why not? Let's do it. Let's do it. But there are no guarantees, and these goals are purely hypothetical, and I'm not going to make you any of the promises that I hear on the net all the time of guarantees. There's no guarantee in life except death and taxes. All right. Except if everyone does get their 3, though, within a week or within 3 weeks, these goals will be met. So, in theory, it could happen. Next slide. So here's what I'm trying to get across here. A financial incentive is just part of the package. All right. If we use some creative marketing techniques like viral video marketing that we're doing, some other affiliate marketing 2.0 strategies, combined with the right financial incentives and a superior product line, okay, I think if we can put those 4 things together, we can build this thing. We can create enough momentum to cause a critical mass to take place. And once that happens, folks, we could be very close to moving towards that $8,000 a month. All right. So that's it. It's very simple. It's up to you now. You should take the ball and run with it. If you have any questions or concerns about it, though, feel free to contact me on Skype. There's my Skype ID, or you can pop me an email. If you have any concerns or suggestions on how this could be improved, I would love to hear from you. This is where you find the letter. Okay, that's our website. You could just go to the blog. All right, and you look at these different pages. Oh, financial incentives. Click that. And here we are. There's the 7-day challenge. I map it all out. Here's the presentation we just watched. Here is the welcome letter. And there it is, folks. You would just highlight that, right click it, left click copy, and now you can put that link anywhere you want and give it to them. Stick that in a Skype conversation or an email or whatever, and say, hey, look, this is what I'll do if you do your part and do it a little bit quicker than later. Okay, and then do it for your 3. All right, so it's all kind of mapped out, and let's do it, folks. Let's get this thing done. By the end of the year. What do you think? Just in time for Christmas? Just a thought. So anyways, thank you for joining me, and thank you for your attention, and all the best of luck to you, and let's get her done. Okay? Thanks a lot.